Hello, I'm actually late, 2 minutes late today. I was right in the middle of something. I've got some things going on I'm pretty excited about. If you don't know my story and my name, I'm Terry Kellums, and I go live every day, Monday through Friday, Arizona time at 2 p.m. to talk about digital marketing and all the things and answer any questions that you might have. And today I'm here. Okay, so a little bit of my story is, oh, hi there. Thanks for joining. So my husband was going to go and do this 5 weeks of training for his job. And we're in the process of building a house. So we were going to take off in our motorhome and go and stay outside of Las Vegas, Nevada for 5 weeks. And we thought, well, why not just move out of our rental home? And then when we come back from the 5 weeks, we'll just finish up building the house and live in our motorhome on our property. Well, then the 5 weeks got canceled and we had to build this apartment in the barn so that we can spend half of our time in the barn, which will be like a home office, a place to like lounge and watch TV and then sleep, and a bathroom in there. And then in the barn, the motorhome will be parked and I'll use that kitchen, and then we'll have laundry out there. So I'm excited today because this is our last week in this house. We move out on Sunday. And today we're going to be installing everything for the bathroom in the barn. So I'm kind of excited to be doing that. I love like all things decorating and design. Like that, maybe I was that in another life. Who knows? But anyways, that's what I was doing. That's why I was late. I was talking to my husband about some things I have to pick up at Home Depot before I head out to our property today. We have been out there every single night after work and all weekend long for weeks and weeks now. So glad that it's finally getting to the end point. I'm ready for the new beginning. I'm ready for the next phase of this whole process. So it's pretty exciting. You know, here's what I want to talk to you about today. It should be pretty brief, but I'm also here to answer any questions. So make sure you ask questions. So I was on another social media platform. I'm not going to say where because I don't want anybody that knows this person to also like pick up on who I'm talking about. I'm just using her story as an example. So she got on social media, and this is a girl that I went to school with years ago, and she was saying that she's a single woman. She was saying that she was getting a second job, saying, congratulate me or something. I just got a second job. And I was really curious what people were going to say. So I was like reading the comments, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's younger than me. I'm 54, almost going to be 55 here in a few weeks, but she's younger than me. But still, I thought, oh my gosh, I can't imagine like having to work 2 jobs. And then I thought, wait a minute, I can imagine it because I've lived that life. So my youngest, let me see, how do I want to tell this story so I don't bore y'all to death? But when I was pregnant with my twins back in 1988, a long time ago, I had a 3.5-year-old daughter, found out I was pregnant with twins, and I was supposed to be going off into the military reserves so that I could get some further education, so that I could gain some skills and get a job where I can make more money to support me and my daughter. And found out I was pregnant, couldn't go into the Navy reserves, so therefore could not go to college, and it was pretty devastating. And I had to like figure out what my next step was. So the only thing I really thought I could do at that point was do in-home daycare. So here I am, I have a 3.5-year-old daughter, pregnant with twins, and found a family that was looking for daycare in our neighborhood. They were also in the military. They had 3.5-year-old twins, so it was like having triplets, and then they had a 6-week-old baby. So I took care of my daughter and those kids for a little bit, and then another family in the neighborhood found out that I was doing daycare, and they had a 2.5-year-old daughter. And so they asked me if I would take her on. It was just a few days a week. It wasn't full-time like the other family, but a few days a week I took this little girl on. And so I had a house full, right? But we were still struggling. I don't know if you know anybody that's just enlisted military, but we barely made any money. I think, we were barely above the poverty level. I remember several times like eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a few meals a day to stretch out until payday came. But we were struggling. So I went out and got a second job. So I took care of those kids all day. And then in the evening, I went and worked at like a sub shop, like Subway, one of those kind of sub shops, in Virginia Beach, Virginia in 1988. And so I do know what it's like to have to work more than one job to make ends meet. And my heart goes out to young families today where, it's hard to buy a home because things are so expensive. The interest rates are so high. And so I do realize, like my friend who posted on social media, who's a single woman, I do understand the need that she may have to go out and find another source of income. But what I would love to say to her, and I'm not close to her, so when I say friend, it's more of just somebody that from school years and years ago. I would so love to say to her, why aren't you thinking or considering something online? Like why? I know not everybody has the entrepreneurial frame of mind, but it has never been easier than it is right now in 2024 to make money online. There are so many ways you can do it. If you are a hobby person, if you're really great at building things, painting things, sewing things, creating things, you can go on Etsy and do that. If you're really good at like proofreading, copywriting, editing, you can go on Upworks and Fiverr and find freelance work. Hello there. Thanks for joining. What else can you do? I think I just lost my train of thought. So you've got Fiverr and Upworks, and if you want to be a virtual assistant, there's that path that you can take. And or you can do what I decided to do at the end of last year. I stopped doing a podcast that I was doing for 3 years because I just felt like the time had, how you just do something for a while and you feel like you're kind of running out of steam for it. Like I felt like I was filling a void in the life of midlife women, and I wanted to give them resources and help support how challenging it can be for some women in midlife. And so I have a coaching program that I do for midlife women. It seems very natural to do a podcast to support midlife women. And so I did that for 3 years, brand new. I was right around 50 when I started it. It was challenging. I loved it. I met wonderful people. I had so many interesting people on the podcast. I met people from all over the world I would have never otherwise had a chance to meet. It was such a great experience. But towards the end of last year, I could tell that I was running out of steam for it. It was becoming a really expensive hobby. Like all the prices for everything that you need to do to run the podcast, everything was just increasing, and I was not able to monetize it. I didn't know how. Even after taking every free webinar, masterclass, whatever I could get my hands on, or whatever expert I could follow and try to learn from without spending more money, I just wasn't able to monetize it. Never could get to the point where I was able to monetize it. I tried, being like an Amazon affiliate and using the podcast to talk about different products and putting an Amazon link. I just couldn't do it. So I was running out of steam. I was kind of like disappointed in myself a little bit because I felt like I'm not done yet. Like I had a very satisfying corporate career. Hello there. I had a very satisfying corporate career. I had a very satisfying coaching practice and podcast, and I was feeling like I'm not done yet. There's something more that I want to do. There's something else. And around about the same time, my husband and I, we've been in this building process. The process, when I say that, some of that is not like active. It's the things that you do behind the scenes, like get the permits and work with your architect and all that kind of stuff. So, but for about 2.5 years, we've been in this process. Well, my husband, I could see, was starting to feel like burdened and struggled, and wanted to start doing more of this ourselves so that we could save money on this whole building process. So he really started working a lot more weekends, a lot more days after work. Any holiday that he had off from his job, he would be over there working. And I was really starting to feel like, man, this kind of stinks. Like I'm we're in midlife. I want to travel. I want to have fun. I want to visit our family and friends back in the Phoenix area. My older kids live in the Kansas City area. We just had so many plans, and they just feel like they've been on hold for so long. I thought, you know what? I need to contribute in a bigger way. I need to figure out something where I can contribute more to not only making more money so that I can help write some sweet checks, I call them, some sweet ass checks to some subcontractors to help move this building process along. But I also feel like, I miss the financial independence I had from when I worked my corporate job. I wanted some of my own money. I wanted to feel like I was adding to our financial goals, not necessarily taking away from them, if that makes any sense. So about the end of the year, I am thinking all these things, and I'm really wanting to do something that makes me feel challenged again after being done with the podcast. I'm scrolling like we all do, just scrolling, and I saw a woman who I've been following on social media for a while who was very successful in her MLM, and she said she was pivoting, and she had found an opportunity to make money online where she could create multiple streams of income and she could gain sales leads. Now, I have a background in sales, so when I heard sales leads, my mind, went a lot of different places. And I kept, watching her videos and seeing what she was talking about and just getting more and more curious. And finally I reached out to her and I said, hey, lady, what are you doing now? And she told me about digital marketing. And I don't know if I was just so ripe and ready for the next phase of life and so ready to make some money and so ready to do something challenging and fun and learn some new skills. I've been a lifelong learner. I love to learn. I said, I'm doing this. And here we are. And the reason I even talked about the podcast not being able to monetize it is there are so many people that say you can do all these things online that I mentioned at the beginning. You can go on Etsy and sell products that you make. You can, offer your freelance services on different websites. You can be a virtual assistant, and people will say you can make all that money and you don't need any training. Maybe you don't, but I can tell you after 3.5 years, three-ish, let's say 3 years, 3 years of doing the podcast and not really having a firm understanding of how to grow my audience. I've tried so many things during that 3 years. I had some very loyal, faithful listeners. And like I said, it was a great experience. I don't regret it at all. But I got to a certain level and it wouldn't grow anymore after that. You would hope, because you were inviting people onto your platform and giving free access to them and free advertising for their business, their book, whatever it was that they wanted to talk about, their services. You hoped as a podcaster, and all podcasters hope this, that they're going to share the podcast with their audience and you're going to gain more followers because of their relationship with the guests that you had on your show. But it just doesn't always work like that. Not everybody is willing to reciprocate. And so the digital marketing program, the digital marketing space, I'll call it, it does require that you learn some skills. I don't know if you have 3 years to try to DIY this whole space, this whole industry. I don't know if you do or not. That's something you'd have to answer for yourself. But for me, I wasn't willing to go 3 more years of trying to figure something out on my own, of taking class after class and doing Google and searches and YouTube searches and reading and learning, and I just wasn't willing to do that. So what I love about the program that I do is that it's a learn while you earn system. And let me tell you what I mean by that. So you can get your system up and running. It's a done-for-you system. You just have to plug certain things in. You purchase your domain from GoDaddy. I don't know how much it is. I think it was like $10 or something, $12 maybe. You got to hook up your domain. You got to add your payment systems in there. They virtually walk you through every single step that you have to do. So if you're shy about tech, if you're like, oh my gosh, I could never do that, never say never, because yours truly did it. And I guess after learning the podcast, I can't say I'm totally not techie, but this is a very easy system that I believe most people can do. And if you decide you don't want to do it, you can also hire someone to do that part of it for you. But you can get that system up and running in a few days, 2 or 3. depending on how much you want to work at it. And then we have a 7-day launch plan, so you can have your business up and running in 7 days. But it doesn't stop there, because there's so much content inside of the program, and it's constantly being added to and updated. So if you want to be faceless, if you're someone who could never imagine yourself coming on a live Instagram and talking about your business and digital marketing, there's a whole segment on how to do a faceless digital marketing account. And on Instagram, they're very popular right now. I don't know if that's as true on the other platforms. I can't really answer that question with absolute certainty. So I'm just going to say Instagram is very friendly for the faceless digital marketing. And then, where was I going with that? Oh, that happens to me every day, I swear to you. So it has the faceless content. It talks about how to build your brand and identify your ideal customers. It teaches you about Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and how to drive people to see your content so that they might be interested in purchasing one of your programs. There's 4 levels inside the program, ranging from 100, 300, 600, 900. 900 is our most popular. But if you decide to start out at a lower level, you can always upgrade within 30 days and just pay the difference. And you're learning while you're earning, because that system is up and going. It's always working for you. As long as you're creating content, driving people to your system, it is working for you when you're not working. It's passive income. It's automated. That's what everybody loves about programs like these is, let's say I did decide, and what am I, let's see, let me just try to think of something I'm good at really quick here. I love to refinish furniture, but that's probably not going to sell on Etsy, but let's just pretend for a minute that it did. If I have to be a seller on Etsy, and I'm pretty sure that you have to do all of it manually. Like I remember going on Etsy and buying like pillows or something, and it's all a manual process. Like they're answering your questions. Like I say, oh, can this? Do you have this in king size pillow shams or whatever? They're involved. I don't know how many hours a day those people spend on creating their crafts and putting the pictures up online and fulfilling order. I don't know how long all of that takes, to be honest with you. I was not really interested at the point when I got involved in this of creating my own product. I'm never going to say never. I'm never going to say that I couldn't take a version of my coaching program and turn it into some kind of program I could sell digitally online. But when I got started, I wanted a done-for-me system. I wanted to be able to get it up and running in days. I wanted to have the system working when I was off busy doing my life. And I wanted to earn that passive pay. I wanted, I don't want it to process payments. I don't want it to ship things or do any kind of inventory. And I want to be able to work when it's convenient for me. Like I'm heading off to Home Depot here when I'm done with this, and I'm going to our barn, and I'm working on the apartment. I'm going to install that that flooring today. I got stuff to do. And it's so like satisfying. I can't even tell you to say, oh, well, I got my content done earlier today. I got all the things I needed to get done for my business this morning, except for this live video that I do every day. And now once this is uploaded, I can go off and live the rest of my life. I could take this with me. My husband does this to me all the time. Hey, I know we said we weren't leaving to go to Phoenix until Saturday morning, but now I'm thinking we'll leave Thursday night when I get off work. And I want to be able to say, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. And grab my, I could just take my phone. You can pretty much do everything. You can create all your videos and everything from your phone. I'm on my phone right now doing this live. But honestly, at my age with my, my need for this, I prefer to do a lot of it on my iPad, and then, they sync back and forth. So I would grab my iPad and I would say, let's go, honey. And as long as I have a strong Wi-Fi signal, I can do what I'm doing right now. I can do everything I did this morning to create content. I can upload everything to YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. I can do all the things on the go, anywhere I'm at whatever hours of the day I choose to work them. So I feel like I kind of got on a roll today. I got some oomph in me today. So anyway, I just want to offer you a copy of my free daily pay blueprint before I sign off today. You can either comment free or you can go right to my profile. There's a link there. You enter in your email address and the system will email it right off to you. You'll get it instantaneously. So I'd love to get that information off to you if what I've talked about today sounds like something that might work for your lifestyle. If you're like my high school friend that needs to earn some extra income, maybe you've got some debt to pay off. Maybe you're just wanting to pad that retirement fund a little more. Maybe you want to write some sweet checks to remodel something in your home. Maybe you want some new furniture. I don't care what you want to do. If this is for you, it's for you. So let me know how I can help. Let me know if you have any questions. And don't forget to comment free for the free daily pay blueprint or visit the profile link on my Instagram bio. So, all right, guys, it was nice hanging out with you for a few minutes, and I will see you back here again tomorrow at 2 o'clock Arizona time. Thanks.